Hey everyone, how are we doing today? It's Mary Ellen Vanakins, Susan Jennings, the real estate ladies of North Atlanta. Boy, we have a treat for you today. We are going to talk about 8 things to declutter before fall. So we know we're going from summer to fall soon and things that we're going to have to declutter. We're also going to talk about a great neighborhood in Alpharetta. We're going to do our segment on what we love about North Atlanta. And then our another segment is all about designer tips. Mm-hmm. So today we're going to start, Sue. How are you doing today, Sue?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Mary Ellen?
I'm doing fantastic. So we're going to start to talk about our neighborhood, our special neighborhood in Alpharetta. Mm-hmm. So we are going to talk about
Canton Street Commons.
Okay. And
Canton
where
Street
is that?
Commons
Downtown Alpharetta.
But on Canton Street.
In downtown Alpharetta. There you go.
So Canton Street Commons is a development that was built by Peachtree Residential back in about 2018 or thereabouts. And it is a combination of attached homes as well as single family homes. So there's a couple different floor plans there. There are some master on the main plans, some with master up. All of them are lovely, lovely floor plans, though. Peachtree Residential has always built a beautiful home. I have a family member that actually owns one of their properties that they built down near the Forum in Peachtree Corners. But anyway, these homes are in the low, over $1 million in the low 1.2, 1.3 and up price range. But they're in a great location because it's so walkable to downtown Alpharetta. You're close to Route 9, you're close to Georgia 400, and great schools as well. It's very, very close to the STEM high school that was built just a few years ago. And so it's walkable to that as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what schools are we there? We're at Alpharetta Elementary, which we love.
Right. Hopewell Middle School and Cambridge High School.
And Cambridge High School. So those are great. And what we love about this little subdivision, area is that you can walk to downtown, Alpharetta. So It was probably one of the first of many being built in downtown Alpharetta, I would say. And they do a great job. So you can go shopping.
The design of the community is just really, really pretty. Most of the homes are brick. They have, kind of a historical feel to them. So they really are charming and they blend into that, history of Alpharetta feel, really, really a nice little community.
Fantastic. So now we're going to go into our segment of 8 things to declutter before fall. So now that all the kids are back in school and we're getting towards fall, even though it's warm still, we're going to talk about 8 different things that you can do to declutter, which I think we all should be decluttering, at least once a month on something, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I always used to start out my fall season when the kids went back to school. I would do a whole back to school sweep of my, home. I'd go through the kids' clothes to make sure all the clothes that were outgrown because they grew like weeds over the summer. Right. And any pants and so forth that I had bought them the previous fall were now like 3 inches too short. So I would get rid of, all the clothes that didn't fit anymore, get rid of any uniforms that were worn, tattered, that they didn't need anymore, any sports attire. Yes. I'd go through all the sports equipment, see if they needed new equipment bags, things like that. Anything that's damaged beyond repair, it went in the trash. Also go through your kids' stationery and craft supplies because these are back to school items that they'll need for their school bags. Making sure they have fresh notebooks and fresh pens, pencils, and markers, things like that. And dump all the old pens, dump the short little pencils that are only this big, the glue sticks that are dried out, get rid of them. They've seen better days, they serve their purpose, but it's time to start over with some fresh things so that your kids have a good start to the school year.
And all those crayons that are broken and markers and highlighters. I mean, we don't need a million of them. Let's simplify and make them It's nice to have some new, fresh.
And I know you bought them a backpack last year. Maybe you did or didn't buy them a backpack this year. But if you did and you have a lunchbox that you had last year and you bought a new one this year, get rid of the old ones. You only need one, you know.
You don't need more.
Right. So
well, that's number one. Number one is sweeping and just kind of going through old clothes, old sports equipment, school supplies. And if you don't have children, you know, then it's doing your sweep of your house with your clothes and your stuff, and just kind of, you know, simplify your life. There we go.
Yeah.
Number
well,
two is
your own clothes too.
Yeah.
I do notice here living in Atlanta and the Atlanta area, we wear more summer clothes than we do winter clothes. And so by this time of the year, some of my summer clothes are really shot. So it's a good time to get rid of the things that, you know, you're not going to need them going into the fall and the winter, perhaps. Just get rid of them now.
Now, what about all that white, right? You know, what do they say?
Yeah.
Once Labor Day hits, white's supposed to be gone. So
I don't know if I believe that anymore, but
me neither. Anyway, white shirts and stuff like that. You know, white shirts never, no matter how clean you keep them, you always get dirt on white shirts.
yeah,
So-
what is it? It's white things and also black things, like black t-shirts or black shirts. They fade really fast,
Yeah.
even though if you don't put them in the dryer and you still hang them
Yeah.
up. They white and black, they just don't hold up.
All right. So number two is fix up your freezer and pantry. That's a good one. I like that.
So first of all, go through everything and get rid of all of your expired items that are in your pantry, your freezer, the things that have freezer burn on them. Make space in your freezer because, you know, as the holidays roll around late in the fall, we all like to bake and we like to make cookies, and maybe some of those things you'll want to, you know, freeze so that you have them over, you know, the holidays and so forth if you want to start baking early. So you need that space in your freezer. You need space in your pantry. Organize your pantry by zones. It'll make it easier to find things ultimately. In other words, keep like things with like things. And, you know, pantry storage containers don't need to be fancy, but, you know, you do need containers of some sort that you're consistently using, that you're labeling and keeping yourself organized.
Yeah. I mean, freezer, just go through and get rid of, like, people don't realize what's in the bottom of their freezer. So just take a whole sweep, like take everything out of the freezer, clean it, and then put everything back in the freezer. And then, like you said, put things in like together, you know, especially with pantries, because I know sometimes kids don't put things back in the pantry where they're supposed to be. They end up going in other areas. And then the other person's like, well, where's those cookies? Or where's that cereal? Or where's that? And you're like, open up the pantry. It's right there, but they don't see it.
Right. And get to the back of your pantry, because like the front shelves of the shelves are generally okay. It's the stuff that gets tucked in the back and gets tucked behind. So maybe get your step ladder out so that you can actually step up 2 or 3 steps and get to the back of those shelves.
Right. And also, like, just, I think, cleaning out your pantry. So like the same thing, taking everything out and then cleaning the floors, cleaning the walls, cleaning if you have wire, cleaning the wire or whatever you do, just make it like fresh, like spring cleaning is kind of like fall sweep. So anything else about fixing up your freezer and pantry? I think we kind of nailed it with that one.
So number 3 on our list.
Yeah, 3.
Is tossing extra toiletries. Now, toiletries is kind of a broad term, but we're really talking about the half-used bottles of sunscreen, your half-used bottles of bug spray from the summer, anything that you collected from hotel rooms over the summer when you were traveling. You really don't need them. You know, just toss them. Yeah.
Or, I mean, if you have unopened, then you can give it to, you know, different shelters and things like that. But if it's open, toss it, you know, especially sunscreen. I think sunscreen, unless you're going on a vacation like next month or something with sunscreen, but I would just toss it. I'd toss the sunscreen.
So get into all your bathroom cabinets, organize them, organize your bathroom counters too. How many times do we get in a house, Mary Ellen, where there's so little space on the counters because they have every hair product, every perfume bottle, every, can of deodorant sitting on top of the bathroom counters. And, I don't care how organized you have them. If you have too much stuff on the counters, your room still looks messy and dirty.
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially underneath the sink. There's sometimes things like accumulate where you're like, oh, I was, like you forget that something was down there and you just, oh, like I need this, or just really kind of organized. So it's kind of like fall cleaning, and decluttering and just getting rid of stuff. I mean, I know that people have a hard time parting with stuff, but when you get through something, then you buy a new thing. You don't buy 10 of them, right? Like, I think everyone has that whole Costco Sam's in their brain. Like, I need 6 shampoos and 6 conditioners or 6 toothpaste or whatever. Try to keep what you need there. If you have extra stash, put it in another closet or something and organize it so that you always know you have that, because if you put it underneath your sink, it might get lost with everything else there. So my suggestion is, if you're going to go to Costco or you're going to go to Sam's, or you're going to order 10 toothpaste at the same time for your family, have another closet, linen closet area where you stack that so that that's like your go-to. These are all my extra stuff. Don't have 10, shampoos and 10 all in your, it just clutters it up. So just decluttering.
Keep it all in one spot, one closet.
One spot, so you know where it's at. So that's good.
Right. So number 4 on our list today is to declutter your closets. And I just had this conversation with a family member the other day that, now's a great time to start looking for new cardigans for the fall and so forth, because if you know anything about our retail stores and so forth, they generally get the majority of what they're going to have for the Christmas holidays. They get it into the stores in about October. And sometimes they've gotten everything that they're going to have for the holidays well before Halloween even hits. So if you're looking for, once you clean your closet and you organize and you need a black cardigan or something like that for your fall wardrobe, now's the time to really start looking for that. So this is not too soon to start going through your closet, organizing your winter gear, getting, out your, looking at your chunky sweaters and your jackets and long pants, and get prepared for fall.
Yeah. And what I would say too is I think things are a little easier now because you always have that word called Amazon, and you can get anything from any season. But I remember before Amazon even existed, that you would go in a store and it was still hot out and they had all the winter stuff out. And then when you were looking for winter stuff, it was all summer stuff or spring stuff. And you were like, I need winter stuff. And they don't have anymore. So shop a little ahead of the season. I think that's a good idea if you do need new clothes, and especially if you have those kids who are outgrowing things like it's going crazy, go out and get them for the next season.
And don't be afraid to put those, bags of the clothes you've taken out of your closet, take them right to Goodwill and drop them off, because even people that want to regularly shop in Goodwill because of they either like it there or they have financial reason to shop there, they're also looking for fall clothes at this point. So it's not too early to drop things off there. The other thing that you should be looking at organizing right now is your linen closet. You want to get rid of any of those sun-stained towels that maybe went to the community pool or the neighborhood pool over the summer and just don't look that fresh anymore. There's local animal shelters love those things because they will use them to line crates and cages and so forth for animals that they've taken in. They're also a good place for those things is to put them in your mudroom, because when you come in the fall and you've got wet or soggy boots or even pets, soggy doggies, you can, put those towels down to dry your pet's feet, and, they're always useful for things like that.
And the Georgia clay.
Yes.
So like your
Yes.
dogs go into the Georgia clay and they get their feet, or they're out for a walk and it's raining. Perfect
Yeah.
for
So
those things.
number 5 on our list is also cleaning up your backyard. So it's not just inside that you need to declutter, it's also outside. It's the backyard. And, fall is so pretty here in Atlanta. Fall lasts a long time, which is wonderful, but it's a great time to enjoy some cooler temperatures, and, get your tools out, make sure they're clean off your furniture, and just, kind of enjoy the time until it gets really, really cold here, because we had some hot days in the summer. Maybe you weren't out there, but now here's an opportunity for you to go and enjoy those outdoors again. So, you just want to make sure your outdoor furniture is cleaned off, that it's ready to go to enjoy, that time with friends and family.
And all those leaves falling down.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you're raking them, because they're all over the place. So
Right.
make sure you're raking them, because they become very slippery too. So
They
people don't
do.
realize.
And they can clog your gutters. And so you should be cleaning your gutters and so forth once a year, because it saves your roof.
Yes.
And it keeps moisture from backing up and damaging those shingles and your roof and everything else.
Yeah, and people don't realize also, I think also power washing your all your furniture outside is because sometimes in the summertime it's just too hot to do that.
Right.
So if you have to like repaint some of your furniture or whatever, or get rid of some of the cushions and buy new ones, great time to do it.
Right. So number 6 on our list today is organizing your outdoor shed and your garage.
Yes.
So garages have a tendency to just accumulate things. You got a new printer for your home office and you put the old one in the box and let it sit in the garage. Why? You really just need to get that stuff cleaned out of there. And, just take everything out of the garage, sweep out the garage, or use your leaf blower and blow out the garage and just start over fresh. Look at all your rakes, look at all your tools, make sure your tools are clean, and, restack everything very, very neatly in bins and so forth. Or get rid of items, frankly, get rid of some things.
Yeah, garages. I mean, all I can say about garages is, especially like after summer, you tend to accumulate so much pool stuff. Like, I don't know where it comes from, but it's like noodles and, rafts and everything else. So, find somewhere to store that for the winter time after we're finished with the summer. And then like, I agree with just cleaning everything out, just taking everything out, just like we did with the pantry and everything else. Just take everything out, because the fall's great. The weather's nice. Take everything out of the garage and just reorganize it. Sometimes you just have to reorganize and replan where everything goes.
Right. And another great area to take everything out of the area, clean everything and put everything back again, or most things back again, is number 7. It's your mudroom. Make sure you're cleaning your mudroom, because this is the area where it's your drop zone, where your kids will come in from school, drop their school bags, and, be excited that they're home for the evening and want a snack right away. And things tend to accumulate in drop zones and mudrooms. And so make sure that you have, enough hooks to hang up jackets, or a closet where you can hang jackets, put shoes away, keep the school bags organized, and make sure everybody has like their own space so they know exactly where their things are the next morning when they're trying to get out the door to go to the school bus.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know that I can add anything onto that, because it's all about just making the mudroom good for everybody. Like, everyone has their little space in the mudroom, so that they have to own that space. So if they're looking, how the kids would come down and they're like, "Where's my backpack?" Well, if it's in the space where it's supposed to be, then you can
Right.
get it and run off to school. So
Right, right. And number 8 on our list today is to sort through your seasonal decor. Everybody loves Halloween. We have a lot of fall wreaths and pumpkin stuff and witch stuff and ghost stuff. And, this is a great time to go through all of that and get your seasonal things lined up, your Halloween things, your Thanksgiving things, and then ultimately your winter holiday things as well. Separate these items by season, by holiday, and you can label them in clear bins. Stackable storage containers are great for these things, but it just makes it easier when you want to pack that particular holiday away and get out the next holiday. You can just grab all that stuff immediately and just make a quick, switch over in your home.
Especially since Halloween has become kind of like Christmas here in the South. I mean, I have never seen people put lights out and they put these big inflatable monsters and I don't know, whatever else, skeletons, and they make it scary and they do like a haunted house on their front yard. And and that takes a lot of space too. Like people don't realize. So you're kind of like when you put your Christmas lights out and your Christmas decorations, Halloween has become so popular with that too. And just kind of organizing that, because you could do Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, like all really fast, so just organizing it. So that's really a good declutter. Those are some good tips.
Yeah, just keep in mind anything that you have had outside for decorations for a particular holiday before you bring it in your home. Make sure you clean it off. Make sure you check it for bugs, things like that, because it has been outside. It has gotten dirty. And, if some of the strings of lights too that have been out, if they're broken, throw them away.
Yeah,
don't put a half-lit strand of lights back.
And you keep them for the next year, and then you're like, why do these not work? Well, they don't work. You should have thrown them out the year before, right? So yeah, just like if they're not working outside, then just toss them. And they're not going to work the next year if they're not working now. So that's a good thing. Well, I really love these tips. Anything else to add, Sue, while we're talking?
I think that's about it. I think we're ready to move on to what we love about North Atlanta.
Yes. And what do we love about North Atlanta today is all of its amazing golf courses. Now, there are so many golf courses around here. We can't even name them all. So people love to golf in the Atlanta area. A little hot during the summer. Those avid golfers are going to go out earlier and later in the afternoon. But, the rest of the year, it's really great temperatures to just golf. And we'll talk about a couple of them. So one of my favorites is the Manor Golf and Country Club. And that's in the Milton, Alpharetta's, whatever / corner there. And it actually is in 3 different counties, believe it or not. Excuse me. It's Fulton County, Forsyth, and Cherokee County is where the Manor is. It's a gated community. Club Corps has taken over that course. So if you're in Club Corps, you can play on that. It's very hilly and very challenging, but it's a beautiful course. And it's just right in the Alpharetta area.
Right.
What's another one, Stu?
Another one would be the Golf Club of Georgia, which is in the Lake Windward community. In fact, there are 2 courses at the Golf Club of Georgia. One's the Lakeside course, and the other is more of a interior course that they both wander through the community. And that's a private club. It's by membership only, just like the Manor Golf and Country Club is as well.
All right. And then another one that's kind of on the east side that's very popular is the River Club. And that's another gated community. And, it's just a beautiful course, and you have to be a member in order to go and play at that course.
And then the last one is at Atlanta National. I honestly can say I've never been to Atlanta National, but I'm sure it's gorgeous. Have you been there, Mary Ellen?
I have. It's really gorgeous. It's so pretty. And I think what we have to see is that when people look at golf courses, they're like, oh, they're flat. These golf courses in our area, have a lot of hills. Like you cannot walk our golf courses. You have to use a golf cart because there's so much, the scenery is just fantastic. The trees and, the azaleas pop in, in that March, April area, and just all the pretty trees, the green grass, the hills are just really nice. It's definitely challenging. We definitely have challenging golf courses, and we do have some that are not as challenging. And these are just a couple of the ones that we love. There's like within like a 5-mile radius, there might be 5 golf courses. There's just so many in this area.
Yeah.
You would never expect it though for Georgia. So if you don't know anything about Georgia, you wouldn't expect to have tons of golf courses, but we have a ton of golf courses here.
Right. I always say Atlanta was built in a forest, and it's definitely not flat land. So there's a lot of rolling hills here and just very pretty picturesque places when you're out somewhere and you're kind of at the top of a hill and you get a great view. There's a big sky here a lot of times, beautiful sunsets, things like that.
Yeah, and that's the best time to play golf, and at least in the summertime. You want to play when it's getting towards sunset, and the sunsets, like I said, you're going up and down hills, and it's just really pretty, pretty sunrise, sunset, and stuff. And there's lots of leagues here too. So just remember that they have women's leagues and women and men leagues and combination and younger kids and older, everything. So golf is for everybody, every age, and all of these golf courses have a community of different, they have the Tuesday women, the 9-holers. You can play 9 holes or 18 holes or whatever. So remember, it's also a social thing as well as getting your exercise. You definitely get your exercise playing golf, but it's just really, really a lot of fun. And it's just one of those things that people probably don't know as much, that there are a lot of golf courses in the North Atlanta area. So golf is fun. So now we're going to go into our design tip of the day. So Sue always has some great tips on design. So what are we going to talk about today, Sue?
Well, the first one on my list is to stay away from trends. I firmly believe that you should always decorate with things that you love, because if you love it, it's going to stand the test of time in your home. And, you don't have to decorate with what everybody else says you need to decorate with. It's your home. You need to be comfortable there. So go with what you love and stay away from the trends. That's my first tip.
Let me ask you a question about that. What's really trending that you would not put in your house?
What I like and what other people like might be two entirely different things. Like, I'm more of a transitional person in terms of my decor. I like some modern elements, but I really do have some favorites that are sort of traditional type elements. It's called being transitional. One thing I dislike a lot, but other people love it, is I really don't like mid-century modern pieces.
Okay.
It's just me.
Yeah. So be you, do you, don't worry about, well, the trend color is this, so I'm going to paint my whole house this, or this is what's trending, because you have to love it. So if you love it, do it. If you don't, move on. Okay.
Right. The second design tip of the day is called build a timeless base layer. So I've mentioned this before, where you should always start with your most expensive or your largest pieces and work towards your least expensive, or sometimes you want to think about it, your smaller pieces. So this will help you kind of build your repertoire of furniture in a room, and you build around the things that are the most difficult to change, in other words. So your biggest piece of furniture, or your most expensive rug, or your most expensive piece. And then you kind of layer in there the second layer and then the third layer. And your third layer could be just like accessories and some textiles, a favorite throw or Afghan that you love, some pillows, and even smaller pieces than that, like candles or small little accessories, little accent table pieces. But if you layer like this, then you can take these accessories and you can swap them out over time, and you can freshen the look of your room without going to a huge expense, because you're going to keep those base layers for the longest period of time and just swap out the smaller pieces and the least expensive pieces.
Nice, nice. Okay, that sounds good. What's another little tip of the day?
And number 3 is something that I see as a problem in a lot of the homes that we walk into when we do a pre-listing evaluation of a property and we work with the sellers to stage a home. It's often to improve the traffic flow in the layout of the home, to make the space feel clean, to make it feel open, to make it feel larger, to make it feel less cluttered. So, you want to always consider the circulation about how people will move through a space, how they will get from one side of the space to the other. And you just don't want to cause traffic jams. You don't want the space to feel crowded. And, you want a 4-foot wide walkway between larger pieces of furniture. And, leave an additional 14 to 18 inches of breathing room between smaller pieces of furniture.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And everybody wants an open floor plan. So even if you don't have an open floor plan, kind of create that experience throughout your house so that it does feel a lot open than it does. So anyway, great. Those were great tips today. So thank you so much for listening to us. And we talked about some great things to declutter for the fall. We had a great Alpharetta neighborhood. We talked about some golf courses and we had some design tips. So feel free to follow us on our socials. If you want to get our newsletter, we have a weekly newsletter from Milton and Alpharetta that tells all about what's going on in the area. So feel free, you can subscribe to that and follow us on our social medias. And we are out today, Susan Jennings, Mary Ellen Vanaken, the real estate ladies of North Atlanta. Thanks, Sue, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.